Good morning, everybody. Okay, I'm watching you come in. This is so great. So happy to have you here. And let's go ahead and start chatting. And make sure, if you're chatting, make sure that your chat is going to all attendees so that everybody can see it. That is the perfect way to do that. So let's just start chatting and saying hello. Tell me where you're from. Gosh, we had people from 3 different countries last time. That is always so much fun. I love that. And good, I'm glad you're here. We're going to have an absolutely amazing, somebody from the UK. Oh, I love that. From Chicago, from New Jersey, from Michigan. Oh, Gail, hi. I know you've been on another one of our wonderful Sedona Soul Ventures grads. There's another person from Delaware, from Atlanta. Oh, somebody from New York. Hi, Jeanette. Oh, now everybody, make sure to click on the chat that it's going to all the attendees. So that everybody can see it. And I think you have to manually do that. So, because I love seeing, here's somebody from Houston, Quincy, Illinois, San Diego, Indiana, Quincy, Illinois. I grew up in Iowa, right next door, Virginia, Northern Virginia. I was just there last summer visiting my brother. Okay. So, yay, let's all kind of settle in. And I'm Deborah Stengel, founder of Sedona Soul Ventures, and I am so happy to have you here with us today for another one of our live master classes. These have just been so much fun, and I've just been getting so much wonderful feedback from people. So I am so glad you're with us. We're going to have another incredible one today, absolutely incredible, with Carolina Stevens, who is another one of our absolutely amazing practitioners. She's been with Sedona Soul Ventures for many years. The sessions I've done with her have been absolutely incredible and amazing. And her work is amazing. So I'm so happy that you're going to be able to experience her today. And I see people still coming on. Anne is on here from Omaha. Hello, Anne. I love you. And Debbie's on again. I have 2 that I'm looking at. My good friend Debbie N. I won't say your last name. Who, gosh, she's done a soul adventure. She went to Egypt with me. She went to Peru with me. She and her son, her adult son, came and did a soul adventure a few months ago. So I'm so glad to see you on again. So I want to make sure, because I'm also seeing a lot of new people, which I absolutely love. And I just want to make sure that you know a little bit about who we are and what we do. So at Sedona Soul Adventures, we do custom designed retreats for individuals and couples. And we spend a lot of time with you before the retreat, really getting an idea of what's going on, what's happening, what do you need to have happen to move you into the life or the relationship of your dreams. We're figuring out what are the gunk, what I call the gunk, the blocks that are holding you back. And then we custom design a retreat that consists of private sessions, not in groups, private sessions, either one-on-one or two-on-one, if it's for a couple, doing this work with these incredible practitioners in Sedona who are just absolutely masters at moving the old energy out, moving you back into connection, and then showing you how to keep on moving and bringing in this amazing energy of connection over and over again so that the transformations are real, they last, and we are giving you the tools, simple tools, that if you just do a little bit, I always say it's like brushing your teeth. If you just do a little bit, you will not only maintain, but you will continue to keep on deepening everything that you get through the retreat. We do our Sedona's Soul Adventures, either here in Sedona or virtually online. And I'm so happy to know and to say that our virtual retreats are just as explosive, just as amazing, because energy is energy, and our practitioners are such masters that it doesn't matter whether you're in their living room, their healing space, or your living room. The energy is moving in the way that it needs to be moved. And so the retreats are a minimum 3 days for individuals, 4 days for couples. Most people do a retreat over a period of 4 or 5 days. We find that that's really optimal for people. And we've now just added our 1-day soul experience. So that's another thing that you can speak to an angel guide about if that sounds interesting to you. Oh, here's somebody from Cheryl saying, somebody named Cheryl saying, I'm coming in September, looking forward to it. Me too, Cheryl. I'll meet you when you're here. So I have an announcement that I want to tell you. If you've been thinking about doing a soul adventure, now is the time to make that decision, because as of July 4th, we are raising our prices. I've been putting this off as long as I possibly could. We haven't raised prices in many years, and the costs of everything just keep going up and up and up, kind of like for everybody else with your home or whatever. But the costs of everything that we are doing have just been going so. And we were going to do this at the end of February. And then when the pandemic hit, I said, okay, we will wait. And then, of course, the pandemic made basically the retreats go from doing a whole lot of retreats to nothing overnight. And luckily, we were able to institute the virtual retreats. But we are raising our prices. And so you basically have a week to place a deposit. You can come anytime over the next year. So it's not like you have to make a decision that you're going to come next week or the week after or even the month after. You have a year to do the retreat. But if you place your deposit before the 4th of July, then those prices will be locked in for you, even if you don't come for an entire year. So if this is something that you would like to do, then do it now. Someone just asked me on the chat, tell me how much it costs for a couples retreat. Well, see, the answer to that, and for all of our retreats, is it depends on what you do and what you need. Everything is custom designed. That is why, one of the reasons why this works is because this is custom designed for you. I know for me, I used to go to a whole lot of group retreats and workshops and seminars and all that kind of thing. And I never, I would feel good while I was there. And then I would get home and I was just the same person coming home. And that's not what happens here. You have a transformation when you do a Sedona Soul Adventure. And when you do a 1-day experience, you really have an opening and a beginning and a clearing. So this is why I know from my own experience that what we have to do is custom design it for exactly what you need. Everyone's different. Everyone's different in the way that they got to the place where they are now, and everyone is different for what they need to have the kind of transformation that they need. So that is why there aren't set prices. Everything depends on what your retreat is. But I really want to give you this heads up that if you think you want to do something, and call and talk to an angel guide. At the end, I will give you the link where you can set up a time to talk to them. And we have angel guides standing by after the class today. And there's no cost or obligation to speak to an angel guide. Talk to them, have them design a retreat for you, and then you feel if it's right or not. That is what you need to know, is that this is something that is right for you. So, okay. I also wanted to tell you, because next Saturday is the 4th of July, we are not going to do a masterclass, so that you can all be celebrating your independence and your freedom, being with your friends, being with your family, social distancing, of course, but being able to be with them. So let's get to it. I am so excited to bring on our guest for today, Carolina. Carolina, I am so happy to have you here with us today. Carolina is just an absolutely incredible practitioner. She is originally from Germany. She's lived in Australia and then New Zealand, and then came here to live in beautiful Sedona about 8 years ago with her beloved. And she's been involved in personal development and transformation for over 20 years. She doesn't look it, so I'm guessing she started when she was 12 or something like that.
Thanks,
She's
Deborah.
been, one of the things that I find is that people that are really great energy workers, they typically look good because the energy in their own bodies is like really moving all of the time. And you're an example of that, not only in the way that you look physically, but just your personality and your energy. Carolina is just an amazing person to even be around. She has helped so many of our soul adventure people, and her passion really is about getting down to the underlying causes of what's going on with people and really, really being able to make changes that last. She and I were talking about that. She's also an incredible life coach, and she's an accredited journey practitioner. So she'll be talking to you about that today and explaining what we will be doing today. So Carolina, I am so happy to have you with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Deborah. I'm excited to be here.
So I'm just going to turn it over to you.
Okay, great. So yeah, I'm so excited to be here. Our topic is healing core wounds, the journey to freedom. And I'm just interested, is there anybody who's had a journey to empowerment session with me before? I don't know whether we can see this at all, but maybe we can find out later on. But so first of all, I want to share with you my story of how I got into this type of healing and how I found the journey. And then we're going to unveil some of the hidden forces that run our lives without us even being aware of it. And then you'll also gain an understanding of how our emotions and beliefs get locked into our bodies as cell memories. And then you have the opportunity to dive into a gentle healing process where you can take your power back. Does that sound good? I can't see anybody, so I assume you're all keen to dive in. So let's just take a moment to ground first so we can really be present. So let's just take a nice deep breath in and just breathing it out. Oh, just even sighing it out, letting go of any stress and tension. And another nice, slow, deep breath all the way into your tippy toes. And letting it go. And just letting yourself sink into your body, feeling your body relaxing now, settling, noticing how where you're sitting, maybe leaning back against a cushion and just allowing yourself just to relax now. There's nothing to do. And just asking yourself, how am I feeling right now? And just notice what feelings are there. I'm noticing a little bit of nervousness in my solar plexus. And just be with this feeling, acknowledge it. There's nothing that needs to be done with it, nothing that needs fixing. Just welcome it. And then taking another nice deep breath in, and then opening your eyes. Wonderful. So now, since I'm more relaxed, we can start into this session. So we are in interesting times right now. We've got COVID-19 and all the fear and uncertainty that's come up with that. And some of you may have been enjoying the pause that's been created, but for some of you, it may have been you may have been afraid to lose your job, or to being afraid for your health or the health of your loved ones, or just not knowing what's going to happen. So there's a lot of fear and uncertainty, and then of course the racial tension and crises, and all the anger and rage that's been triggered. And so life has been triggering us. And here's the thing, COVID-19 hasn't put those emotions into our bodies. Those external conditions don't put those emotions into our body. They trigger what's already there. And so, beneath of our surface emotions that we're feeling, often there are deeper cell memories. They're our core wounds. They're our childhood wounds. The stuff that we may have pushed away under the rug for a lifetime. And often during crisis situation, they start to bubble up to the surface. And so this is how there's actually a gift in those situations, because when we face them and when we release them, then, so much more freedom and empowerment becomes available. And so, so sometimes we can't change what's happening outside, but we can always empower our emotional state and our mindset. And so this is what this session is about, because when we do this, life also starts to show up differently. And so this is where the journey work comes in. So this is what I'm so passionate and excited about. So let me just share with you how I found this healing modality. So I started off as a massage therapist. And had a clinic, and a lot of people came through, and I noticed that there was always a handful of people that had been through the entire medical system. They had all the blood work, the scans, even surgery, and nobody could give them any answers. And so they just were left with their chronic pain. They didn't know what to do. And so it made me think. I went like, okay, everything's been figured out on the physical level, but something's got to be causing it, and it's obviously not there, otherwise they would have found it. So what is it? Where is the cause? And so this is when somebody gave me this book here, The Journey by Brandon Bays. And in this book, Brandon shares how she healed herself from a basketball-sized abdominal tumor by facing and releasing her unresolved emotional issues, old trauma from the past, which she thought she had dealt with, and when she let it go and released it the journey way, within 6.5 weeks, she was textbook perfectly healthy, no drugs, no surgery. And that sounds like a miracle, doesn't it? But that's the amazing thing that can happen when we deal with those core wounds. And so this is what we're going to be diving in now. And so, so then at that point, I didn't know, I jumped into the journey training with Brandon Bays straight away. As it happened, she was in Christchurch, was still living at the time in New Zealand that weekend, and so jumped into the practitioner training, and that was about 15 years ago. But at that time, I didn't know that I was really going to be needing this work for myself. And so 2006, my life totally fell apart. My marriage of 20 years failed. We lost our family home, lost investments. I had no money and only a small part-time business at that point in time, because I was a stay-at-home mom. And so, for anybody who's been in this kind of situation, you know how freaky this is. This is a scary place to be. And during this time, a friend of mine put his arm around my shoulder and he said, Carolina, what you have created is because of your patterns of thinking and your way of being. All you need to do is change those and you can create something different. And this resonated with a part deep inside of me, and it gave me hope. It meant I could actually do something to change this. And so I said to myself, okay, if this is how life works, I'm going to prove this to myself. And so I rolled up my sleeves and I dove in. And that's where the journey work really helped me to uncover what was hiding in my subconscious. And I was shocked because I had no idea how many disempowering emotions, how much anger and resentment and grudges and self-loathing and all fears and insecurities were I was holding. I had no idea about, and beliefs about myself as a woman, about money, about men, about life. Things like I'm not good enough, I'm stupid, women are second-rate citizens, men can't be trusted, and life's hard and a struggle, and on and on and on. So where did they come from? So let's start in the beginning. So in essence, we are this boundless, beautiful, limitless potential. And so what I show to children when I work with them, I show them this beautiful sparkling diamond. And this is, that's what's in the core of us, this beauty that's multifaceted with our talents and gifts and there's beauty, there's peace, there's love, there's joy and resourcefulness. Everything is already inside of us, this wellspring of knowingness, this expansive awareness. And actually, science has shown when we're infants, we experience ourselves as this awareness. And when mom puts her hand in front of our face as an infant, you feel yourself being one with her hand, one with the matrix of life. But then what happens to this beautiful boundlessness? Well, we come into the world and the world's not always perfect, right? And so stuff happens and we get hurt. And we're not born with a manual of what, knowing what to do with our emotions when we feel strong emotions. And so what we do is we just tend to shut them down in order to be able to keep going. And so those emotions, they don't just go away, they stay with us. They stay in our bodies and subconscious. So when I was 7 years old, I was singing, in front of the entire school at a school concert. And I went blank. So here I was looking out over this ocean of people. And I was freaking out. I was petrified. I was frozen. I didn't know what to do. There was nothing coming out. I was blank. And so I looked around and tried to find some support somewhere, but even my teacher looked horrified. And so I bumbled my way through it at the end and went through it, and nobody said something really bad. But I just felt like I had been the biggest disappointment. Disappointed, let myself down, disappointed my teacher, my parents. And I just felt totally and utterly embarrassed and ashamed. And so there was a layer of shutdown. But little did I know that I also made some decisions at that point in time. I decided that I wasn't going to show up anymore being in the limelight. I was going to hide out. I was going to keep myself safe because I don't want to feel those feelings ever again. I don't want to make a fool of myself ever again. And so I decided that I was only going to do anything when I knew that it was going to be 100% perfect. Are there any other recovering perfectionists in the room? Or maybe I'm the only one? No.
You can raise your hand if you'd like to raise your hand, and then we can see that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, a lot of people have raised their hands. So yeah, thank you. So yeah, so for you can probably see how you made decisions that were keeping yourself small. And so when I was 12 years old, a good family friend, we just spent some time with the day before. He was on his way to work on our street in our neighborhood, and he walks in front of a bus and he was killed. I still remember how I was sitting in the room, in my bedroom, because parents, adults didn't know what to say. And I was reeling. It was like the rug had been pulled from under my feet. If this can happen to him, it can happen to my dad. It can happen to my mom. It can happen to me. And it was like, I was like freaking out. And again, a layer of shutdown. And so from that moment, I started to develop this vigilance, and this trying to control life in order to keep people safe. Can anybody relate to that? You may want to raise your hand if you do. And so we go through life accumulating those layers of shut down emotions and the beliefs that we form. And, those emotions and beliefs don't just go away. They become the silent forces that start to run our life without us even realizing, because they flow into our thoughts, day to day, moment by moment thoughts, how we feel, feel about ourselves, feel about our life, into our actions and behaviors, whether we are taking care of ourselves or not, how we show up in relationship or not, whether we take advantage of opportunities or not, whether we play small or whether we step out. And so then those actions, behaviors come back to us as the conditions and as our life, the life that we are experiencing. So life is basically the mirror of our consciousness. And the thing is, we all do it. And it's not your fault. Nobody taught you how to deal with negative events and those strong emotions that they cause. It's just an automatic mechanism that we all do. And so yeah, so that's how the journey helped me, to get to the root causes of those wounds and those patterns that I was seeing mirrored back to me in my life. And when I was 16, my dad had decided to be with another woman. And I did what most children do. I decided I made it mean something about me. I took it personally, and I decided, he was abandoning me. He was rejecting me. And at that point, I closed my heart. Boom, another layer of shutdown. And I started to just keep people at arm's length. I walked through life not letting people in because I didn't want to get hurt again. I don't know whether any of you can resonate with developed a pattern like this, which is not really an ideal scenario for being in a marriage. I could see how this had played itself out. And so this is where the journey really helped me to unearth those old wounds and then to start healing them. And I let go of the anger and those resentments, and I forgave a whole bunch of people and forgave myself. And, as I was healing my childhood wounds and as I was facing my fears and insecurities, my self-worth started to grow and my self-love. And I started to feel comfortable in my own skin, just more empowered rather than fearful. And then exactly what my friend had predicted started to happen. Life started to mirror my new empowered consciousness back to me in the form of great opportunities to build my business, to increase my income. I tripled my income. My relationships got more authentic and more real, and life started to have more of an ease and flow. But even, as much work as we may do on ourselves, it doesn't make us exempt of challenges. And so 2011, I was in the earthquake in Christchurch. And huge earthquake, it killed 187 or so people. 11 of my best, my friends and colleagues got killed on that day. And again, it was a shocking situation that brought up again a lot of my old wounds and even ancestral kind of generational trauma. And so again, I used the journey work to help me process what was happening in that situation, but also those deeper things that were coming up for freedom. And so, as I processed things and then, went on with my life. And then 2 years later, I met the love of my life and then ended up with a brand new, amazing marriage and life in Sedona. And so this is the amazing thing that happens when we're willing, when you're willing to go beyond the mask. And for all of us, life tends to at some stage give us a wake-up call. And that's when our mask gets a crack. And that's an opportunity for us, to dive deep. And often this is, the health problem or the divorce or a pandemic. And that situation, that's often when you call Sedona Soul Adventure, because you're realizing how you've been living your life is not working anymore. And so this is the invitation. And right now, if you're experiencing challenges, maybe that's an invitation from your soul to open through those layers of the old blocks, the shutdowns, the fears and the decisions, and to open back into this boundless potential, this boundless infinite awareness that is your true nature. And when you do this, when you face those old things, everything is possible, because this is how Brandon healed herself from a basketball-sized tumor, and this is what helped me to bounce back from rock bottom and now live my dream life. And that's possible for all of you. It's possible for you, because beneath of those things, they're not even who you are. They're just those lies that we've taken on board, and we thought that's who we are, that's what we identified with. But beneath it is this beautiful boundless potential. And if you reconnect back with that, then everything becomes possible in your life. And so you're probably wondering, how do we do this? And so how does the journey do this? So the journey is a introspective, guided visualization. And it's a very gentle process that literally takes you, we set an intention of what's, often something's not working out here in your life. And then the journey pretty much unfailingly takes you right in your body, takes you on this adventure into your body, and brings up whatever old emotions or whatever wounds or whatever decisions you may have made at some time in your life. And you may not even remember this time consciously right now, but the journey brings it up, and then you can heal it and release it. And as you do it, so much more freedom and confidence and clarity becomes available. And so this is the beauty of Sedona Soul Adventure, because as Deborah said, when you get rid of the old gunk. And this is what all of you are going to experience if you do a Sedona Soul Adventure. You're going to do some healing. You're going to let go of some of those old traumas, those childhood wounds, those core wounds. And then you have all those other beautiful modalities that then help you move forward and create whatever you want to create. So it just becomes this beautiful full circle of a complete transformation. And so that's why I love to be a part of Sedona Soul Adventure. And so now, if any questions come up for you, please type it in the chat box. And then after we do the healing process, I will try to answer as many as possible. But now I think it's time for us to do a little healing process. And so first of all, what I would like to do, I like us just to get up and stand up if this is comfortable for you, if that works for you. And so let's just move the body a little bit. You've been listening to me talking for quite a while now. So let's just stand up if it's comfortable for you, just for a minute. Just take a nice deep breath in. Oh, and just stretch out and breathe out and just connect with your body, stretching. Take another nice deep breath in and just move your body. Just listen to your body and see what directions, what does it want to move? Just moving your shoulders, maybe your hips, your pelvis. Oh, that feels so good. And then just let yourself bounce a little bit. Just shake a little bit, shake out your arms, shake out your legs. And that just sort of gets the energy moving. Yeah, just loosen everything up. And then just stop for a moment and just feel the energy in your body. And then when you're ready, taking a seat again. Okay, so I'm just going to have a sip of water. So take a nice deep breath in and just letting it go. And let yourself settle back into your seat, into your body. Another nice deep breath into your body. Letting go of any stress and tension, just sighing it out even. One more slow, loving breath into your body, all the way into your toes. And as you breathe out, allowing your face to soften, releasing your jaw, softening your throat, relaxing your shoulders, and allowing your chest to soften now. Your stomach, just let it hang out. Your pelvis, and just let yourself relax for a moment. And just hearing any sounds outside and the sound of my voice, and just notice that there's signals that just carry you deeper into relaxation. And noticing your breath as it flows in and out in its own rhythm. And notice with every breath you take, it just carries you a little bit deeper into relaxation. And now allowing your awareness to expand freely to the front of you. And openly and vastly behind you. Boundlessly to all sides of you. Sky-like above. And ocean-like below. And just soaking in this ocean of awareness, just letting go. Just nothing to do here, just being here right now in this moment. And now scanning your body from your head all the way to your toes for any kind of sensation, for any holding or contraction, for any stress in the body, maybe pain. And just allowing yourself to be guided to an area that's standing out, that's stronger than the rest. And that's kind of trying to get your attention. And just focusing your awareness on the sensation that we usually just trying to ignore. But right now, just allow yourself to feel what it is, what's it really feeling like? Is it just tight, or is it dull, or is it achy, or is it numb? I feel a bit of tension in my shoulder blade. And so just seeing how big is this area or how small. If it had a color, what color would it be? How thick is it? Is it still or is it moving? Is it solid or is it hollow? Is it cooler or is it warmer than the rest of the body? Is it dry or does it feel wet? And just surrounding it with your love and just allowing it just to soften. And so, what if there was an emotion in there? What if there was a feeling locked in there? And so just allow this feeling to come bubbling out of this area now and just becoming aware of it. I have a sense of resistance. And whatever it is, just welcoming it. It's coming up for freedom. And if you don't have a feeling, just stay with the sensation. That's perfect. Whatever comes up is perfect. And so, really welcoming this emotion now. And just be willing to be with it and let it expand and be here even fuller now. And now allow yourself to spiral back in time to the earliest time when you have felt this feeling before. Just allow your subconscious to do this for you. And just see what comes up. How old you might have been. Who is with you or not with you. What's taking place? And often it is, we want something and we're not getting it, or something is happening that we don't want. And just allow a memory to emerge. And it may just be subtle, you may just be getting a sense of it, and that's perfect. And what kind of decision did you make at that time? What kind of belief may you have formed at that time? Just be curious and see what shows up. And then asking, what did you need at that time? What does this younger self that's showing up, this younger you, what does she really need right now? And see what shows up. Does she need safety? Does she need to be taken out of a situation? Does she need to be heard or seen? Does she need to be able to express herself? Just see, what does she need? And then as the adult who knows how to love, just giving this to your younger you right now. Yeah, my younger you just needs somebody to acknowledge how she's feeling and somebody who is willing to hear her out. And just giving her this love, giving her what she needs. And reaching out to the sensation. If you're with a sensation, that's perfect too. And just surrounding it with your love. And telling your younger you, I can see you. I hear you. I love you. You're precious. You're important to me. You're with me now. You're safe. Just checking in and seeing how the younger you is feeling now. And maybe asking, what else do you need right now? What else does she need? And just see what comes up and then giving this to her. And just keep breathing, keep loving her. And then bringing her, the younger you, inside your heart. And just surrounding her with this love. You're not lost anymore. You're here with me now. I won't leave you. I love you. You're important. You matter. And just letting the younger you just relax in your heart. As you're breathing through your heart. And now bringing your attention back to the sensation and just noticing, how is it feeling now? What's the size or the intensity or the color? How is it shifting? And then just letting yourself relax back into this beautiful awareness, just expanding freely into all directions above and below. And just relaxing for a moment. And now allow yourself to spiral into the future and become your wise 85-year-old self. And asking, wondering what kind of wisdom would this wise 85-year-old want to share with the adult that's sitting here right now. And just be curious and see what comes up. What nugget of wisdom does he or she want to share with you? And then, taking a nice deep breath back into your body, connecting with the feet on the ground, feeling yourself back sitting in the seat, and another nice deep breath in, and maybe even taking a stretch. And then with the third breath in, you may want to even rub your hands together and place them over your eyes. And then when you're ready, then you can just gently open your eyes into this beautiful day and the awareness of yourself. Beautiful. And so now I'd be really interested to see what kind of experience you had. Maybe you want to share with us in the chat box. What kind of insights you gained? What wisdom did your body tell you? What did it reveal? What beliefs may you have formed at the time, and how may they have played themselves out in your life? Just whatever you're willing to share. And we open up the mics now. Deborah is going to open the mics for a couple of people who would like to share. So who would like to share what you've experienced?
Go ahead and raise your hand. And if you're raising your hand, make sure that you're off of mute. So go ahead and raise your hand, everybody who would like to share. If you had a really wonderful experience, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay. Teresa, go ahead and I will. There we go. Go ahead and turn off your mute. Turn yourself on. There she is. And can you turn your video on so we can see you? Can you click on the, there we go. Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Don't look at my hair.
You look great.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn my video. I'm keeping my video off so that you guys don't see me reacting, but you go ahead.
Okay. This was so what I needed today. Like, you have no idea.
Well, this is so wonderful, Teresa. I can't actually see the video. Is there
I'll take myself off video then, and maybe that will do it.
It's okay. I mean, we can just have a conversation.
Is that good?
I only see myself, but maybe you see her, so that's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So okay,
Uh,
so what was it that that really was meaningful to you that you got out of this?
Well, basically, what I got out of it was that I've been trying to get to a problem of why I can't get past certain things in my work. And it has to do with me showing myself, like showing up more. Like I have all of these gifts and talents and, accomplishments, but I can't get past a certain spot. And it made me think about when we were going through the meditation, it made me think about when I was little, I was singing at my great grandfather's funeral, and
Mm.
I was singing for the very first time. And there were three of us singing, me, my aunt, and a family friend. And there was a part where I was supposed to come in and do this really high, thing. And we practiced and practiced and practiced. But when it came time to do it, I remember looking over at my grandmother. My grandmother was crying because, of course, it's her father that was passing. And I had never seen my grandmother cry before. And I guess it's what kind of like choked me up, and I couldn't sing. And even after a few minutes and the part came back again, I couldn't recover. And I think at that point, I chose to, not perform completely, because if I messed up, that I was gonna embarrass myself, or all the things that come with that. But what I remember most is that at the end, nobody came up to me and hugged me, said, it's okay, it's not a big deal. You can still sing, anything like that. And throughout my life, there are points where I've tried to sing again and I cannot do it. Like I sound great by myself. And I was married at one time, and he used to love to hear me sing. Like we would get in the car and he would turn music on and he would just say, sing, and I would sing. But when it came to getting in front of an audience, it was like, mm-mm,
Mhm.
my spirit would not let me go through with it. There's that thing of perfectionism that was,
Mhm.
that was there. So it was like you have to be good all the time. And if you're in a place where you're going to mess up, then you just need to stop. You just need to stop.
Mhm.
So that's what's been happening to me. And
So Teresa, can I ask a question?
sure.
So what decision did the younger you make at that point? That memory came up, you were singing. So what did you think about yourself, or what came up?
Well, I just hugged myself and cupped my face and told myself, it's okay. It's just a song. You were caught up in emotion. It's totally normal. Everything's okay. You can sing again. It doesn't have to be perfect. Everybody loved what you did. It was beautiful. And if I was an adult and I was sitting watching a kid and that happened to them, that's what I would do. I would tell them, oh, it's okay, like you were amazing, you stood up there, that was great, you had courage, and you know what I mean, and you felt for your grandmother, and it was okay that you felt that for her, and
Mhm.
that everything was going to be okay. It doesn't have to be this perfect thing that you thought it was going to be. You just have to show up.
Mhm.
That's it. All you had to do was show up, and that kid didn't have to do it. She didn't have to do anything. it,
Yeah.
it it didn't matter. She was a cute little kid standing up there wanting to sing for her family, and that
And
was enough.
and so Teresa, how did your younger you feel after you held her face and you hugged her? How did she feel when you reassured her?
Well, I started tearing up.
Yes, good.
I started tearing up and just kind of letting that go. And then you had me go to the 85-year-old and to support this person. And that was great too, because the 85-year-old said what I think I would say to a kid in that situation. Like,
Mhm.
it's all good. Don't even trip. What you did was fantastic. You can do this again. You don't have to freeze up every time you go to perform and show yourself, let yourself shine, So yeah, that was amazing. I needed that. I really needed that. And there are other instances that I wrote down where I'm gonna go back and do this exercise with, because there are other points in my life where it was the same thing. I got to a certain place, this perfectionism I expected from myself, and then I froze up. I
Mhm.
froze up.
So the beautiful thing is now you have the awareness that whenever that shows up in your life now, it's literally the little frozen kid, the little kid that's standing here. And so now you can make a new choice. You can take the little kid by the hand and
Yeah.
you can be the adult, and you can do it anyway. You'll
Yeah.
take her by the hand, say, we got this, we can do this now. And I
Well,
would encourage you, maybe this weekend, find a situation with a friend or a few people and sing to them.
okay.
Yeah, because
All
I
right.
think the quicker you do it and you have the experience, you can have a big breakthrough in so many areas of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh my
thank you
gosh.
so much for sharing. I'm so happy
Oh,
to
for
hear this. That's
sure. Thank you
beautiful.
so much. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
you're welcome. Wonderful.
Thank you, Teresa. That was great.
Thank you, Deborah. Good to see you again.
You too, sweetie.
I have been on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I beeped her off. I'm sorry. Uh, let me see if I can get her on because she was saying something. Teresa, let's get you back on. Oh, something's off. Well, okay. So would you like to do one more, Carolina?
Yeah, I would love to, but actually, what the supportive group here is saying? They are asking Teresa to sing.
Teresa, raise your hand again. Because something happened with me trying to get you. There you are. Okay.
I don't know whether that's appropriate or
Here
not,
she
but
is. Hi. Teresa, did you hear that? Unmute yourself. There we go.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Teresa, there's some people that are saying you seem like such a sweet person, and I would love you to hear you sing, and somebody else to sing to us.
Oh my
And
gosh. Oh
you
my
don't
gosh.
have
I'm
to.
so
You
shocked.
don't have to.
You don't
But
have
if you
to.
if you
No,
want
You
to,
don't.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. There's a reason it's being called. I'm gonna do it.
So take a deep breath.
Okay. I'm actually gonna sing some of the song that I sang at the funeral, or that I didn't sing at the funeral.
that's beautiful. You're coming full circle and have your younger you
Yeah.
right here. So
All
beautiful.
right, younger me. God is truly amazing. God is truly amazing. My God is truly amazing.
Oh my gosh.
That is so beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Thank
That
you
was so
so much.
beautiful.
That was the part I was supposed to sing where I went
You
high.
did it. You did
That
it.
is so great. You started to say something before I took you off. What were you going to say, sweetie?
Oh, I was just going to tell you that I have been on a whirlwind since I came to Sedona Solar Ventures in March. And it's just been the best time, the best learning experience. And although this pandemic is horrible, it's been the perfect time for me to be able to really dive in and focus on myself. These connections with other people I've had to let go so that I can just see myself, because I do so much for other people. And it's just been really, really great. And I just can't wait to find, that me that has that joy again. You know what I mean? Like I have for everybody else, but to have it for myself. So it's just been amazing. And I'm coming back in September. So I'll probably see you then.
I sure plan on seeing you. And sweetie, the transformation has happened.
Yeah.
And I can just see that in your energy. And you just need to
you.
keep moving forward like you're doing. Use the tools that you got here. It's happening.
Yes, and these master classes are amazing. Oh, and I'm still working with Kamala by also. So yeah.
Wonderful. That is so great. Well, I will see you in September.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you so much.
And-
Thank you, Caroline.
And
Yeah,
thank
you're so
you.
welcome. I just
And
wanted to
thank you
read
for
some of the.
Yes, go ahead. Thank you so much for singing. That was fabulous.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
And just some of those comments in the comment box, that was amazing. Chills all over my body. Thank you. And applause and beautiful. Thank you. Self-cleaning up confetti. And so proud of you. You did it. So anyway, when you step out, the universe comes and gives you all that support. Well done. So yeah, I'm happy to talk to one more person if you.
Okay, so I lowered the hands. I lowered all the hands. So if you would like to tell us about the wonderful experience that you had with Carolina doing the journey, let's go ahead and Marguerite, let me get you on here and go ahead and unmute yourself and turn on the video. There, she's coming. All right.
Actually, one thing I want to say is this was actually not the journey process I do for Sedona Soul Adventure, because this is that's much more in depth than even that was. And so it's not suitable for a group process, but this was something we could do. And so you have a taste.
Which was wonderful. Marguerite, hi.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, really good.
So I'm sorry I have to move.
No problem.
My husband just walked in the door and the dog's barking. So, okay, thank you so much for allowing me to join you.
Hi, Marguerite. Nice to meet you.
Okay, so
what kind of insights did you gain? What did you experience in this process?
So what I experienced was tension in my lower back releasing, which I've had for quite a while, and it's not from too much gardening or anything like that. I'm in a situation right now where I'm making a decision to leave my husband, and actively looking at places. So he doesn't know that. And but what it came up was freedom, release, and the past relationships that I've had where I've always felt like I needed a second person there to help me pay the taxes, help me pay the mortgage, stuff like that.
And so the younger you, what sort of came up, and how did you meet her need, or how did that relate to your younger aspect of you?
I'm not good enough. You know, I'm always in survival mode, right? So when I'm not with another person, I feel like I'm spinning plates in the air to stay in survival mode and make sure everything is, okay.
And what could you, as the adult, give to the younger you, even if she may not be a kid, but what could you give to her, and how did that transform the situation or empower her?
That I've done it before, I can do it again.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, this isn't my first rodeo, but yeah.
And how's your back feeling now?
It actually feels really much better.
Yeah, amazing, huh? And what did your 85-year-old wise self say to you?
Go for it.
Cool.
Just, yeah, I've been, there have been, it might not be the time this week or this month, but it will be a time within the next year.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So you're feeling like you're more empowered moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm scared.
Sure.
Yeah.
Change and stepping into the unknown. It's natural for us to be scared, but we have a choice to collapse or to move forward anyway. Right.
And COVID has brought out different things for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Awesome. Wishing you all the best with your next step.
Yes, thank you. And I just want to say, Deborah, I did come in January of 2017 for a 3-day session with Sedona Soul.
Well, and how was that for you?
that was the beginning of the process.
Mhm. Well,
Yeah.
I'm so glad. And I'm so glad you're feeling better. Isn't it amazing what can happen just after a few minutes?
Yeah. And I want to say that the process doesn't have to be, when I came in January 2017, it doesn't mean that things are going to happen in the next 2 weeks. Things happened and happened and happened. And I've been progressing and making different decisions to ultimately get to where I believe I want to go. And I've been participating or watching the replays of your master classes, and I just think that they are just wonderful. And now that you're, offering 1 day and also again the 3 days, I'm going to look back into that.
Well, and I love it because this is exactly what happens with a soul adventure. You did it in 2017, but the changes and the transformations are still going and
Yeah.
still happening. And that's exactly what happens with it. So I'm so glad for you and hope to see you again when you come back. Thank you, Marguerite.
Oh, and thank you guys for your energy. I'm just smiling ear to ear.
That's the
That's
idea. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
So Deborah, there's somebody in the chat. I would like to read the comment. Would that be okay?
of course.
So Stephanie says, she's sharing her experience, letting my younger self know she's safe. It's not her fault. Stronger than she knows. My older self thanked me for the self-development exploration I'm going through today, and that I'm on the verge of greatness, that the universe is weaving my life together as I work on the threads of my tapestry. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you
It's
for
so
sharing.
beautiful. There's so many beautiful things in the chat that people have talked about, and it is just so wonderful and amazing that doing this short process, what it brings up, it even brought up something for me that was a new thing that I was sitting here going, oh wow, okay, that's that's a new one. And then to be able to move it. So Carolina, thank you so much. This has been very, very wonderful. Remember, everybody, we'll be sending you a recording. And Carolina, I just want to thank you. As usual, this was just really, really terrific.
Oh, this was great to do it. And I feel kind of sad. I would like to talk to every single one of you and acknowledge you. And somebody said that it was a very emotional process. And I just want to say that's great. That's where the healing is, when you allow the tears that you weren't able to cry then, when you can release them, and so much freedom and becomes available. So well done, everybody. And so wonderful to be with you all. Thank you so much, Deborah.
Thank you, Carolina. Okay, everybody. So I just want to remind you that because it's July 4th next week, we won't be doing a masterclass. We'll be doing another one. In fact, the one in 2 weeks, I am going to be doing that one. And so I'm looking forward to being with you in that way. And again, remember that what I talked about at the beginning, that you have another week to take advantage of the prices that we have now for a Sedona Soul Adventure, whether it's virtual or in Sedona, or if it's a one-day experience. Our prices will be going up on the 4th of July. So what I want to invite you to do, I'm going to put up on the, at the end, you can go on to www.sedonasouladventures.com/angel, and I'll put that on up at the end. So you can set up a time to speak to an angel guide either now or over the next few days, but they will spend time with you really digging deep to get into what is going on with you, what is holding you back, what are the blocks, what are the problems, what I call the gunk that's holding you back from living your best life or having your dream relationship. Then they'll custom design a retreat especially for you. And if you place your deposit within the next week before the 4th of July, you'll be able to keep the lower prices, and you can come anytime in the next year. So I hope that you will connect with an angel guide, see if this feels right for you. We're all about transformation and about people living their best life. Have a very wonderful 4th of July, and I will see you in 2 weeks.